Action.
Okay, so excuse my back, but here we are again, working with the patient. This time we're using the rotator. And we just do it like the face of a clock, 12, 3, 6, and 9. And we folded the opening of the box underneath the box. I'm just holding it in place, right in the L shape of the wood. It's so simple, it's remarkable. I'm going to have the patient place the foot right on top.
And we're going to add one more thing, which you could have used, which you can use both ways. On the rotator, we send out our famous tool called lipstick. In case you want to show us any deformities on the foot, you could just take this. You have an navicular bone sticking out here. You have a callus here that's also marked on the form, but you want to show it. You might have a little wart over here. So you put this on, but you got to do this without moving the foot all around. So when you're comfortable with casting, and then you would have some baby wipes to wipe it off. So I'm going to be careful not to get this on the carpet. And I'll place it on here because of the lipstick. Now Mark's going to tell you how to cast the foot again.
Okay, so once again, the first thing we're looking at is a right angle. The foot's in a very neutral, comfortable position. Down here, we have a release, a Velcro release, that allows the rotator to start moving. When it's held in place, the rotator doesn't move at all. As soon as we release it, we can now start to rotate that foot into a pronated position. We can rotate it into a very nice supinated position. Pronated, supinated, and we can do it also just by moving the talus and navicular bones themselves and getting it to really lock into a neutral position. At which point you lock the rotator so it doesn't rotate anymore. I could let go of the foot, it's going to stay in that position.
And let the cameraman again come down, put some, just to show the space under here.
Right underneath here is what we're trying to establish. We're trying to rotate this foot into a neutral, subtalar neutral position. The ankle is perfect right here. I come right over the top, and again, with my two fingers down here, I'm just guiding the foot into a...
With 70% pressure on that instep,
and we
and
just go
30 on
straight
the knee.
down into the box.
That's it.
At which point we just go
Hold on
on...
1 second, please. I want to show one point with the rotator. The box won't slip like it would on the carpet. And see, it's still maintaining the varus. If he takes his hand off, you could see right now the forefoot varus degree from the top of the skin. It's relatively locking it in the same spot that it was before he pushed the heel down. Now he'll continue to cast.
And right over here is where we're putting... My hand is going right across the metatarsals. I'm going straight down. It's down to the floor. And then you're just going to push each toe.
And now he's going to go back to the cuboid with 2 fingers. We left that out before, but he just gave a little oomph on the cuboid, because on a very long foot, you can create, on a size men's 12, you can get the heel down, and when you push the forefoot down, the cuboid might not be seated. You don't try to push the cuboid to the bottom of the box. You just give that little extra push to make sure it's in its natural spot. And then he would take my foot out. But in this case, because of the lipstick, I'm going to hold it here. And then you just turn it around, and you would do the same. Of course, again, checking, I want to point out something that you could see. You saw me pronate, my heel would be looking like this, and you see how nice and vertical it is in the cast? It only took him less than a minute, about 30 seconds to cast. You notice the heel is as deep as my finger here, and it's still as deep as the fifth right over here. And I'm going to turn it sideways. It's coming uphill here. You can see the circle here for the wart. You can see the lipstick showing the navicular bone, and you can see the lipstick here for the metatarsal heads, which all can be put on the form. You could also scratch into the foam, if you didn't have lipstick, a line here to show us any foot problems. You can also push your finger in if you had to show an extra problem, and mark it on the form, and we would see that also, which is the same as the foot doctor putting dye on the patient's foot so it comes out on the plaster cast. Then you would just slide the machine over, and of course you would be in front. Mark's just trying to keep out of the movie. His back. And again, if he releases the brake.
First thing we're checking for, right angle. The foot's in a neutral position. The patient's just comfortable. And we're going to create what we want to balance out this foot. We're going to make sure that the Achilles tendon and the talus and the vicular bone in the front are balanced. We start with the rotator loose so we can rotate the whole foot around. Here's the pronation. Excessive supination, and we want to find the balance right in between. So once again, I'll hold the talar navicular joint. You feel it right away. You can feel the whole bone's rolling and rolling and rolling. I hold it into a nice position. Once I feel it lock into a neutral position, lock the rotator. The foot right here is supinating approximately 3, 4, 5 degrees. I could let go, stays exactly in that position. There's no patient that's going to be able to do that by themselves if the rotator is not being used. It is actually locking the foot in place, which is beautiful.
And you see, if Mark just push down on the first ray metatarsal space, you see how it bounces right back? It's locking it, and which is what a podiatrist does when he puts the plaster on and locks the foot, the ankle joint, in the 90 degrees. So when the plaster dries, it's keeping the forefoot neutral. Now he rebalanced it again because I actually have maybe 9 degrees of forefoot varus. And he's got that fifth all the way to the bottom of the box. He's pushing the toes down. Then he'll put a little extra oomph on the cuboid. And tell the patient to take it off. And again, as you can see, here you are coming uphill. So here's the varus, here's the deep hole, here's the little tiny hole, here's the heel, the same depth. If I turn it around, you saw my foot in the movie, pronating, and here it is vertical. And now if I pour this, it'll be just as good as a podiatrist taking a plaster cast. But no mess, no cleanup, close the box, send it in, and if you have the right person, which is Foot Function Lab, who argues with doctors who send in bad casts, I will call you up and tell you you're making mistakes, even if you've been doing this for 20 years, that I like it better, because I'm very fussy that the casts come in right, because you see all the hard work we do to make these by hand, and that's why I have little comebacks. If the casts are right, I can make the product good. And the rotator is very simple. That you would put it, if you put the brake back here, as you can see, there's a built-in handle. I'm sitting in the chair, but the brake belongs right here, that circle. And at 7 o'clock is a handle. You can pick it right up, take it in from room to room, throw it in the car, take it with you.
Any sporting events.
You can take it to sporting events, take it to shows that you're doing, and it's very easy to cast the foot. And they're all custom made, special order by me.